Good morning. Welcome to Winnipeg. I was just looking at the monitor a moment ago and I was thinking, looks like we're going to be able to see the sunrise again. But I was also looking at the thermometer and it's minus 14.1 right now. And that's beside the house. Those of you who watched yesterday's bike ride, you'll have seen me walk in here and look at the thermometer. And I was mentioning how that this one is often 3 or 4, sometimes 5 degrees warmer than the one that has the sensor in the backyard. And I mentioned that the reason for that is because the sun shines off my neighbor's house and reflects onto the sensor that's on for that one right there. So it gives sort of a false reading. However, there's no sunshine at the moment, so I think it's probably pretty close. It's another cold day. Enough about the weather. What I want to do today is I got a comment from our friend Vic, and he reminded me, what about using blue tack to hold the little parts in place while you're painting them? I don't think blue tack would have worked too good on a thing like this, but then I could have used something else to have stuck down on here instead of, I could have maybe used an upturned paint jar or something like that. I've done something like that. That's worked before. I just keep forgetting. Anyway, where is it? I dug it out here a minute ago, and here it is. Okay, I'm going to see now on some of these little parts if we just can't maybe do that. Take a little tiny ball of blue tack and figure out where on the part is it going to plug into something, so you're not going to see that particular part of the part anyway. Can we do it? I don't think I've ever used blue tack on anything really, really small. Okay. I was also realizing that I may not have the right color of brown here because I should be recomposing because I'm pointing at stuff and you can't even see it from way back there. No, you can't. You can just see little tiny dots down here. Okay, let's recompose here and get going. I don't have any other what you might call news. I would like to try and get a little bit further ahead. I want to try and stick to the model as best I can here. I know as the years have progressed here, the episodes were 90% model and maybe only 10% nonsense. Now that's 90% nonsense and 10% model. Well, maybe not that bad, but it's not. I'm not sticking to it the way maybe I should. Let's recompose here and see if we can't use some of this blue tack. It's great stuff. I don't know if it's getting a little. I don't know. It might be a little bit dried out here, although I don't think so. I don't know if there's any way a person can reconstitute this, if you know what I mean. I think that. I know that if it's warmer, it's more malleable. I've often wondered what would happen if a person stuck it in the microwave, on low. I have a Panasonic microwave that actually puts you can adjust the power, and it does it in such a way that it's putting less power in constantly, instead of full power then off. Then full power, then off. I've got a microwave that does that too. I like the kind that you can just adjust the not the frequency. It would be the intensity of the frequency. Let's put it that way. I think that's how it works. I think microwave. I'm not sure. There's probably somebody knows. Microwave ovens. Do they all operate on the same frequency? That's how a microwave works. It puts it causes the molecules to vibrate, and when they're vibrating, they're rubbing together and getting hot. Oh my goodness, did we ever get off the subject? Let's get back to the blue tack and the painting. Okay, I'm just trying to get a little tiny bit of blue tack going on here. There we go. And I've got my rotating platform here. Not the one that's on the rotator, but the one that has a little tiny nail that goes through and digs into my green cloth so that I can rotate it around. And it's always going to stay basically in the same place. In fact, it should stay perfectly in the same place. Probably to within a hundredth of a millimeter. Now, the problem is I can't place my blue tack that accurately. And I just want to try and just get it to stick down on there. All right. And notice how my fingerprint is... Okay. Now, what I want to do is... we've got our little parts going on here, right? Where's Tony's tweezers? Let's, for instance, take the toilet bowl. Now, I know that on a ship, you call the bathroom the head. You don't call it the bathroom. You don't call it the toilet. It's referred to as the head. I think I first heard that expression when I was about 13, I was about 13 years old. And I had the, you might say, privilege of spending a lot of time one summer on what was known as a lobster cruiser. It wasn't a big one. It was a small one. It was just a 40-footer. And I'm not going to go into a lot of details of how, I ended up on this thing, but I was there for quite a while. And I learned at that time that the bathroom was called the head. And it wasn't really it was just sort of off the kitchen up in the bow area. Yeah. But I can still remember using that thing. I think I remember the first time using it, I had what you might call shy bladder, and I didn't want to use it, but you pretty well had to. Okay, we are stuck down there. I don't think we need to worry about if we don't get the paint around under the bottom here. But maybe I stuck it down too far. And yet, on the other hand, with blue tack, the problem with blue tack is you have to have quite a large area, otherwise it's not going to stick on. But I think this will sort of work, and I want to try this on this what I believe was probably porcelain. I know I use something like this a lot to poke something down. Well, the reason for that is because, first of all, when I push down on it, my finger is not going to stick to it. Like normally your finger's a little bit sticky whether you want to admit it or not. And second reason is because this is flat, if I'm holding the bottom of it horizontal, I know that when I lift up and release it, my toilet bowl is going to be perfectly level. Not that it makes a huge difference, but when we come in with our little brush, I'll probably use this little brush here. Should be able to get on the sides. Now, am I going to be knocking this over? I don't think so. I think if I'm careful and don't bang it with I think that should work. Okay, let's stick our macro lens on and try that. I would imagine we would be using a gloss white. It makes sense to me. I'm not even going to check the painting and marking guide because why is this thing moving on me? Maybe I have to push the nail down into the green cloth a little better. Okay, I've made a bit of a change here. And the reason being is I've gone from, well, first of all, I've gone from this rotator here that we were just looking at to this one. And the reason being is I was realizing that once I change this or whether once I try to paint this, I can't talk and work at the same time. Okay, once I try to start painting this thing, it's going to be hard to paint it evenly. But I was thinking afterwards if I could rotate it, and just touch the brush on the edge, sort of like, when you a potter's wheel. No, I've never done that sort of thing, but I know how it works. Anyway, so I've got a fresh rotating block here, and I know where to put this because I shove my finger down and I can see the indent. I know where the hole is going to be. I know where the center of rotation is going to be, more or less. So I think if I push this down in there, is it going to want to stay there? Maybe if I go like this. You know what? I think I'll move the macro lens in. We do have the macro lens on right now. It's just that the camera is way back. So okay, let's reposition here. Okay, now does it look like I've got that blue tack centered in that cavity? Let's turn it on here and let it rotate. Yeah, not too bad. I probably won't be able to, get it pushed down into the blue tack just right anyway, so, maybe if I got myself directly over top of it. So that's what I'm doing right now. And once again, we'll take the flat end of Tony's tweezer and just push it down a little bit. Okay, let's try that. It's not bad. It's off by about 1 millimeter, but you know what? My brush is going to probably be off 2 millimeters, so what's the difference, right? Okay, now we're going to want to use a gloss white. Maybe if I was to... I always got to poke at things, don't you? Push it a little bit more this way. Let's try that. Yeah, that's some better. Well, it's not like I'm turning this thing on a lathe or something like that, and it's not like I'm making part for a watch. Okay, we're all set up here and we're ready to paint, and my clock is wanting to get in the action here. It's exactly 8 a.m. Now, what I've got here is the Mr. Hobby's H1, which I believe is the gloss white. And we are just gonna maybe I don't have enough on there. Yeah, that's working better. I might have to do 2 coats. Okay, you can see what I was trying to do here, but I didn't get the inside very good. Oh my. Now what do I do? Okay, I'm going to have to let that dry and reposition everything. The blue tack let go from that masking tape. I think that, I wonder if a little piece of double-sided sticky tape would have worked better. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to forget about the blue tack. Don't poke at it. I'll think of something here. Okay, I got myself a little piece of double-sided tape here, and we're going to try and place it right in the center of that cavity. Should be able to get it more or less right. Doesn't have to be perfect as long as the bowl is perfect. Okay. Now I should have been better prepared here. You can see that the tip of this knife has been Okay, this works really well with a new blade. Let's see if I can find something. Okay, this one isn't new, but it's better. I should be able to get it underneath and then lift that off. At least that's the way I do it. Okay, now we're going to want to reposition our bowl here. Get that blue tack off. Sorry, Vic, and this is a good idea, but maybe it just doesn't want to seem to stick on the. Okay, Tony's tweezers again. Yeah, it doesn't want to stick on the masking tape. All right, now I'm just sort of eyeballing it here. I don't know if that paint is dry yet or not. Not a whole lot of time has passed here. Okay, no, it's fairly dry. Okay, now put this back on the main for later. Okay, we are back. Let's just try this and see how centered are we. And I haven't tried it yet. That's pretty good. Okay, now here's the thought I had. I don't have any paint on my brush yet, obviously. I do have something on there. What is that, a piece of dust or something? Okay, there, I got it off. Now, obviously we are not going to be able to paint underneath there. If we try to, I'm going to end up with you might say, some sort of a seam going on. So I'm wondering if maybe what I should do is do the toilet bowl, or whatever you call this thing on a ship. I know it's called, the area is called the head. I don't know if this particular item would be called the head or not. Maybe this is the head, but then what would you call a urinal? Yeah, okay. Okay, there's probably people listening to me right now that know exactly what that would be. So let's just not go too far down here. And we are going to have to do 2 coats. No question about it. We're going to have to do 2 coats. I just let it go up and over the edge. And I know we did the inside already. We'll do it again. Sort of like turning something on a potter's wheel. Kind of like a lathe a little bit. I'm getting a lot of bubbles in there. This paint seems to be bad for that. I don't remember that happening with the Tamiya paints, but for some reason this Mr. Hobby seems to really, I don't know. How am I going to break those bubbles? Because they're just going to make it look porcupine-y. Maybe I just go one more time. This is, yeah, this is just not, okay, well, that's some better. But there's bubbles on the edge there. Whoops. I guess if I put my hand on it, it's going to stop, isn't it? Okay, that's sort of improving it, isn't it? Okay, let's let that sort of flow into place, you might say, and dry. And then I'm thinking that maybe if I was to take this bowl and turn it upside down to get the bottom, but we're not going to see the bottom anyway. Should I be maybe trying to go underneath there? Okay, let's just let that dry and see what we got. In the meantime, we'll go on to something else here. Like maybe the stool. Apparently we have to use 2 different types of brown for the stool, and I don't think I've got one of them. And I have a new blade in my hobby knife here. And the trick with this is to not go in very far, otherwise you're going to dig right into the gum and you're going to be pulling everything off. And all you want to do is pull off this top cover here. Alright, I hope I cut a piece that's big enough here. No, this piece here. I might have to cut another piece. No, this part rather, as you can see, it's got a lot of flashing on it. And I don't think I can take that flashing off on camera, because I think I'd probably do a better job if I try to do this off camera. Yeah, I better do this off camera, because otherwise what might happen is I'll end up cutting off one of the rungs. Okay, I'll be back in a few minutes here. Now, just moments ago, I was noticing that there was some activity next door at the neighbors. So I can imagine that in all likelihood our friend Missy's going to be coming to the door looking for her dog Cookie. Now, I don't think I need to be counting on the rotation of this thing to be helpful, other than I can use it to position things around. Now, is it going to stay on there? I think it probably will. This may not be the very best. Okay, I want to show you something here. I just thought of this. Let's get it off of there. You notice on the bottom there, is it like a little hole in that part that comes straight down? No, well, there's a little dimple there, but I could stick a pin in that maybe. Yeah, if I was to stick a pin in that, maybe I could rotate everything around just the way I want it, but we can try this first and see how it goes. Let's get it on there. I want all three legs to be, I think I'm going to have to make a larger piece of, this sticky tape is just a little bit too small here. Yeah, I'm going to cut a larger one. Okay, let's move this over a bit. Maybe I should take it right off of there. There we go. I think I pretty much got that centered, and I can press it down, and little legs are going to stick in there. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, let's get the brown that is supposed to go on these legs. See if we can paint that. I see you, Missy. I'm coming. Yeah, a dog that can ring the doorbell. Hi, Missy. How are you today?
How are you, Ron?
I'm doing good. I'm sorry I missed you last night. I guess I had waited another 2.5 minutes.
I thought you had said 5:15. You must have said 5:05.
No, 5:10.
Oh, and I was there at 5:12.
Yeah.
Well, that was my mistake.
No, that's all right. That's okay.
I was eating supper and I had lots of time. Oh, another 20 minutes. And then we got the gabbing, and the next thing I knew, it was 5 hours.
Yeah. No, I know. You had said the deal was that you were going to phone me at, by 10 after if you were going to be late. And then there was no phone call, and I thought, well, I wonder what happened, and
That's my memory.
And-
Of all the things I've lost, I miss my mind the most.
Okay, here you go, Missy. I got one left here for you. Don't run away. Don't run away.
Good luck. She's a girl on a mission, that one.
Yeah.
This is a nicer day.
Good.
It's windy.
It's cold though. It was minus 14 when I got up.
It feels warmer without the wind.
Yeah, the wind makes a difference. Okay, get my other glasses back on here. And I was just about to push record here, and our little friend Missy came to the door, and I was looking in the monitor, and I can see I've got burrs going on here. I don't know if I can do anything about this or not. I thought I got everything, but I guess not. Mind you, the reason we're noticing this is because we're looking at it so incredibly close up. I don't know if I'm actually doing anything, or am I just maybe smearing the burrs around. Oh, let's just leave it. Okay. Now, the H18 that they call for is not brown. It's actually supposed to represent steel, which makes a lot more sense. I suppose they could have had wooden stool legs, but on a submarine, when you want it to be heavy, right, so it'll go submerge, you don't need the lightness of wood. Okay, now where's my little brush that I got here? And I guess we'll just start at the bottom here and work our way up. I know I'm sort of flooding it on, but I think that's the way it's going to work best with this thing. I just sort of flood it on and then let it shrink wrap around. Probably get away with just one coat. Now on the top here, I don't really worry about that because it's going to have the little wooden. Did I get down to the bottom? Okay. Alright, now just check here. Have we got everywhere? I think that once that dries, it's going to look okay. It's probably going to be sort of a semi-gloss, isn't it? Only makes sense. If it's the steel legs, they would shine a little bit. Alright, I think I've got everywhere. Just maybe I reach in on each one like this, just to make sure I've got. I'm pretty sure I've got all on the inside. Can't see the inside anyway. Yeah, if I go like that, I get it too. Okay, let's not overdo it here. It's going to start getting clumpy. Okay, we'll let that dry and see how it looks. Okay, I was noticing afterwards that on the inside of some of these legs here, I'd sort of missed. Just quickly get that just to make sure. Down on the bottom of the. I'm pretty sure I got it now. Yeah. Now, when my neighbor was over having coffee with me yesterday, I was telling him that I think I am allowing this model table to, I think I used the word consume me, or phrase consume me, but I think that's not exactly right. It's not consuming me, but I think I'm spending way too much time at it. And consequently, at the end of the day, or even halfway through the day, what got me thinking about it was when I was trying to quickly edit up yesterday's episode and found that I had way more footage than I thought I did, and yet I didn't want to lose anything, and yet I still wanted to get out on my e-bike. I was starting to get a little bit uptight, and I was mad at the model table, and then I thought, you know what, I should just back off a little bit, and I should maybe, at a certain time of the day, just stop, just say thanks for watching. That's all for today. Now it's only 17 minutes after 9. We're not going to do that right now. But this business of letting it go on and on and on is, thinking I'll just do one more shot, I'll do one more shot, and that's next thing I know, I've one more shot at myself up to about 30-40 minutes, and then I got to edit it out. And I know a lot of people, they'll just set their camera on the table and they don't do any editing. They'll just take the file and they'll take the file right out of the camera and they'll put it up on YouTube. And that maybe they don't edit at all. Now, I'm not talking about people that I'm watching regularly now, but I've actually seen that where that's all they've done, and that's better than nothing. Better than nothing. But I'm not like that. I like to try and perfect my editing and learn new techniques with my editing program and stuff like that. But what am I trying to say here? It's the model table is it's just I think about it when I get up in the morning, and I'm thinking about it when I go to sleep at night. Yeah, I'm thinking about what I'm going to do and how I could do things better and stuff like that. I don't think I've ever had any dreams about it. I had a funny dream last night though. I was here in Winnipeg. I was down in the area of Disraeli and Main Street, and I had parked my car and I couldn't find it. And the car that I had parked was my 1976 Chevy Nova in my dream. And my wife was alive and she was with me, and it was all one of these convoluted dreams, that sort of was mixed up with stuff that had been real and stuff that never was. And the funny thing of it was one of those long dreams, where I looked for my car for a long time. I can't remember if I found it. Yeah, crazy. How did I get onto that? Okay, yeah. So I'm going to have to cut her back a little bit, or cut her off earlier. Maybe that's it. Or start earlier. I spend a lot of time in the morning going on the internet. Checking my email, checking Facebook, checking YouTube, and and did you ever notice lately that the what they call clickbait is just getting so good, and you'll see a picture of something, it'll pop up on your screen, and you'll think, oh, what's that about? And you'll click on it, and that'll lead to another one. And of course, it's all about getting you to watch advertising. Yeah, that's their way of saying, please subscribe and click like and give to my PayPal. That's their way of, anyway. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. I probably offended some people, but anyhow, hey, it is what it is. I am who I am. And I think maybe what's happening is that in this stage in my life, I just want to do so much, and that I enjoy, that is. Okay, enough about that. I have not done any editing yet. I have not even edited out the opening scene where I clunked the coffee cup down. I don't even know how it came out. So I better get in the back room there and do a little editing and see what we got going on here. We'll see you back at the model table, I'm guessing in about, hour and a half maybe. See how it goes. Here is a perfect example of what I was talking about. just moments ago, I got to where I am right now. And you probably can't see the clock, but it says 11:54. Honestly, I did not plan this. I mean, it's not like I deliberately did this so that I could show this as an example. This actually really happened. Once again, I just was having so much fun back there at the model table. And time just got away on me, and I just had record pressed a lot more than I thought. And I had a good time. But there are other things that I should be doing. For instance, I was noticing on my thermometer right now, and that's the one that reads in the backyard. It says, I don't know if you can read it or not because the battery's going down on it, but it says minus 3.6 in the backyard. I don't know if I can get it. Anyway, trust me, that's what it says. A heat wave. I should be out on my bike. Anyway, and I haven't done the sunrise yet. Okay. Oh look, there's somebody walking. I should be out there too. Okay, I'm gonna check and see if the sunrise was worth putting up, and if it is, well, it'll be right after I push stop here. But I'm going to call her quits here for today, folks. And tomorrow's going to be different. It's going to have to be different. Otherwise, I'm going to burn out. And I'd sure hate to burn out at the model table before I got the Yamato. Okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. And all being well, we're going to see you tomorrow.